Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Tim McAfee.
Good morning. When I was probably 10 years old, I had an assignment in grade school to go home and report back on someone that I thought was a mover and shaker, had done profound things in the world, and got out the World Book Encyclopedia. That will probably date me some. I found Albert Einstein. Did my report, and little did I know that his efforts with this formula of E equals mc squared might influence my life for decades. I'm not giving you a lecture on physics, but this formula, I'm going in and out here, not sure why. This formula means that the energy or kinetic energy of a particular body can be measured. And so E is kinetic energy, m equals the mass of a particular object, c is the speed of light. So if we want to know what the kinetic energy is of a particular item, it's mass times the velocity of light squared. I believe that type of formula, which is quite comforting, in fact, to know that it always it has a certainty to it. But I believe, and I discovered, as I finished college, that I thought that as human beings, we can also develop a sort of human energy formula that, if we discover it and act upon it, we will be able to enjoy life, not just survive it, not just endure it, but we enjoy life and thrive with passion and compassion. And along the way, there will be moments really that we will look forward to, of moments of what I call serendipity. And so I decided to develop my own personal unique formula that would give me energy that would influence people around me. It would give me a zest for life. And so I'm going to share with you how my formula has affected my life for decades, and I want to encourage you. And I pose to you this question, and that is it true that you yourself can develop your own personal energy, human energy formula that will improve your life and influence those around you in a positive way? So, as you can see, I'm a Scot, and it's something that I enjoy. I've inherited. I didn't do anything to get this, but both through my mother and my father, I can trace my heritage back to Scotland. I come from the clan McAfee. My last name now is McAfee, and part of what is integral in my DNA comes from the generations of people that went before me. Just a little bit of history about this, about my family. We lived on a little island off the coast of Scotland. We were fiercely independent, and we pretty much hated the British. Sorry about that for those that are Brits here. Actually, they murdered our chieftain back in 1565. That's sort of irritating. And we ended up banding together with the clan MacDonald, where we, along with Bonnie Prince Charles, tried to have an independent country, Scotland. And we fought together with other clans of Scotland in the Battle of Culloden, and we lost pretty badly there. So the British killed our chieftain, murdered us at Culloden, and then they decided that they would send us to Ireland to make sure that that we could take care of the Irish. That was and can't you imagine that? A bunch of clan Scottish Highlanders sent away to take care of the Irish. Well, eventually, to Southwest Virginia, and we've lived in the highlands of the Appalachian Mountains for generations now. And that behavior of you just can't kill us off is part of who I am, and I'm sort of proud of that, and it's part of my human energy formula. And I called up my brother, Scottish brother Sean Connery, and told him that I was planning on. I'm doing something wrong. That I had been invited to speak at this IDEA conference, and I told him I'm not sure. Kind of odd theme. I'm not quite sure what it's about, but I wanted some words of encouragement from him, and I told him I was going to do my best. And this was Sean's.
Best. Losers always whine about their best.
I don't know if you've seen that movie, but I've not played the entire message from Brother Sean. So that's part of my human formula, that you're gonna knock me down, but I'm gonna get back up. And I know a little bit about some Navy SEALs. I've had over the last decade the opportunity to get to know them and to learn a little bit about them. Without getting into a lot of detail about how I know that, some of the things I've learned from talking with them, and it's interesting that how you make it through to become a special operator, to be a SEAL. You know, what is it about them? And I was not in the military, but I think that attitude of life that you might kick me and knock me down and try to kill me, but I'm not going away. It's part of what a Navy SEAL is, and my son has that genetic makeup, and he's served our country now for 10 years as a Navy SEAL in Coronado. So that's a basis of a little bit about that. Now, the thing that illustrates this attitude I have about human energy is not my legal career, but my passion for whitewater. A number of years ago, I traveled to Nepal, where we hiked in 4 days to the Timor River, where I got to experience some whitewater. That's me in the picture. But along the way, I told you a moment ago about moments of serendipity. This idea of if you can develop that human energy formula and love life and maximize your energy, things are going to come your way. And one of the things that came my way was on our 4-day trek in there, we got to meet people that never see Caucasian folks. They're so remote. There's no televisions. There's no roads. The only way you get there is to walk. And one of the things that happened to me just serendipitously is this little community's medicine man, as we're leaving, comes up to me, and that's not blood on my face. That's he takes some red dye and he gives me his, if you will, good luck. I have no idea why he chose me, but I think it has to do with this energy that we all have the potential of exhibiting. Shortly after my college career, I thought about life's purpose. And Anybody recognize who that picture is, by the way? Get a show of hands who know that, who knows what that is? A few of you? Okay. That's President Theodore Roosevelt before he was president. And I thought, as I was developing my own human energy formula, what would be a statement that sort of defines my life in a positive way? And this is what I came upon, and it has been sort of my life's mantra. And I owe it to this self-discovery of one's human energy. And so, for those of you, I'll read it to you. Far better it is to dare mighty things and to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in a gray twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat. I never knew him, obviously, but that's sort of me. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my life as a whitewater kayaker, and to give you some ideas as I go through these photographs here, some of the things that I get to do as a whitewater kayaker, and how this idea of living life to its fullest and daring things has taken me across the globe. I've been to Nepal, to Africa, Ecuador, Chile, Corsica, and Italy. And see, there's some of the pictures and things that I want to illustrate about my life as a whitewater kayaker is that sometimes you don't know whether you're going to get through there unscathed. Okay, it's a daring proposition. Not all the time. Sometimes it's interesting just to look at the water and be able to picture where you need to be. And sometimes you look at it and go, this is the day that's going to one of those checkered defeats. But you do it anyway. All right? You do it anyway. That's a picture from Corsica in Italy. And I'll tell you a little bit about moving on. Son and I went to Uganda on a whitewater kayaking trip. And the part of that was we decided, wouldn't it be nice to go up in the mountains, see if we can't find these gorillas in the mist? You know, not in a zoo, but, you know, face to face with these things. And so we hiked in about, well, first you drive to the end of the road. Road is a kind of road you might think. It's on the border with Rwanda and Uganda, and then you hike in about 4 hours, hoping you can find. And so we do. And it's one of those, again, serendipitous moments where you're sitting there, and as my son and I were there with another group of people, having found this family of gorillas, the young male, and this is a jungle, the young male gorilla walks behind us and actually brushes up against us. And a few minutes later, the silverback comes from the top of the trees. And it's I don't think that without daring things, we would ever had that wonderful experience. I just have a moment left, and so my message to you today is that my formula for thriving and compassion and living life in a way that you're going to be satisfied at the end of it is unique to me. So I encourage each of you to develop your own human energy formula that will maximize the experience that you have in this life. Discover that it's there. It's in all of you. Thank you.